These are what we count by numbers. 0 through 9, we have a 10-digit system of numerals. This is a base 10 number system. We count by tens. Now, in my opinion, I think this is because we have 10 fingers, and so our ancestors counted with all 10 of their fingers. However, I think this unincludes people who have a mutation where they have a 6th finger. Now, normally the finger doesn't do anything, but it's still a 6th finger, so they have 12 fingers. So why don't we have a 12 base system, or base 12? I literally can't remember how it works. In this video, I am creating 2 completely new numbers and making a 12 number system that still is technically 10. It's just 10 is now becoming our version of 12. So anyways, first off, how the heck am I going to do this? Well, let's start pretty simple. So obviously we need to somehow create these new numbers and mathematically explain it with our current system. So what I have up here is our system. Now this is going to be marked with an A for Arabic, because everyone calls it Arabic numbers. For our new system, there's going to be a C. This is for Kulvan, which is the new system I'm creating that converts time, alphabet, numbers, everything. So this is my new culture of Kulvan. 10 is equal to 12 in Arabic. 10 Kulvan equals 12 Arabic. So now let's just start counting in Kulvan. Obviously we have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, and we have 6. And this is where I've added my first new number. What I've decided to do is take a number from the Devanagari system. It's Hindi, essentially. So what I've decided is, instead of taking the Hindi 7, I took the Hindi 6, because I thought it looked a lot better than the Hindi 7. So that kind of looks good. Meet cha. I think that's how you pronounce it. I looked up a couple of videos, and most of the time it was either cha or like cha or something like that. So cha. We're gonna call it cha because we're in English. So I'm kind of simplifying it here. Obviously up next then is 7 and 8. And this is where I added our next new number. Now this one I completely made up, and you're gonna have to stick with me because I can do whatever I want. This is Jun. Jun is equal to 10 in Arabic, but for us it's Jun. And then obviously after Jun is 9 and 10. So as you can see here, cha is equal to 7 in Arabic, 7 in Kulvan is equal to 8, 8 is equal to 9, Jun is equal to 10, 9 is equal to 11, and 10 is equal to 12. So this is how the system works. You can easily convert these digits in between the systems. The end, now we can count by 12s while keeping the name 10. You're welcome, 6-fingered people, the 6-fingered man from The Princess Bride. You're welcome. So real quick, let's talk about the 2 new numbers I added, cha and Jun. Horrible drawings, but whatever. So for Jun, it's actually pretty simple to label stuff. This would simply be called 1 Junth, and this is just Junti. However, for cha, I wanted it to stay kind of close to its Devanagari system heritage. I need to really learn how to pronounce that. And so obviously the names are a lot different. What you might call 1 Chath is actually called Chatha or Chathe, one of the 2. Please do not blame me in the comments. I am English, and I'm a dumb English speaker at that. And then for Chadi, or Shadi, I don't know, this would be safe, or sa. So this is the editor version of me, the much more educated one now. And these pronunciations are awful. So from the Google Translate, what it appears to be, I'm going to try my best to pronounce these, but I can actually hear the pronunciation now. 1/6 is chata, or chata. And then for the 60, which is the chati, it is sat. That's safe. Sat. And if you thought it was bad, the entire video I was pronouncing cha wrong. It is che, or che, not cha. So I hope this clarifies some things. I'm still gonna call it cha. It's easier than che. You can still say che or cha. I'm fine with either. But those are pronunciations. Anyway, back to the video. Now, obviously, there's a bit of a caveat here. This is like Fahrenheit and Celsius. Eventually, over time, you keep counting, and what 20 in Kulvan is actually 24 in Arabic. And this actually keeps going. And now to show some extreme examples of this imbalance of numbers. 100 in Kulvan is equal to 144 in Arabic. because we're going by 12s. And so already we're off by 44 numbers in between the two systems. This is going to be insanely bad. You go up even further, 1000 in Kuvan is equal to 1728 in Arabic. And to just make it 10 times more extreme, 10,000 in Kuvan is equal to 20,736. This is over double of what Kuvan is stated. And so already, if someone with 6 fingers on each hand was counting and he got to 10,000, he would actually be double of where he is if he was counting by our normal standards. And so obviously we need a way to convert these two measurements in order to get these, because obviously I got these numbers somehow. So how'd I get it? So first off, let's show the easiest conversion method, and then I'll go into the harder part. To get from Kuvan to Arabic, it's actually pretty simple, but also kind of complicated. Both ways are actually kind of complicated, but to be fair, so is Fahrenheit and Celsius, but that's also a lot more simple. But we're dealing with a lot of stuff here, like we can't have any decimals, and so it's a pretty weird equation that took me a little bit to make. The second equation I had to use the internet for because I could not figure it out at all. So let's take our first example. 109. So in order to convert this into Arabic, we have to kind of understand the places here. In normal Arabic, this is the ones place. This is the tens place. This is the hundreds place. And this is the 1000s place. But in Kuvan, it's a lot different. Because we're counting by 12s, it gets really weird. So this is the ones place still, but then this is the 12s place. And this is the 144s place. And the other one is 1728's place, I think. And so clearly we can't really, we gotta make it a little bit, what am I saying? And so obviously we have to approach this in a pretty weird way. So what you're going to do is identify the current places. Obviously this, what the heck, bro? This is the ones, this is the 12s, and this is the 144th place. And so now we're going to take all these digits and separate them real quick. So now that they're separated, we're going to want to convert them into their Arabic digit counterpart. So looking at the chart here, 1 is obviously equal to 1. Cha is equal to 7. And 9 is equal to 11. I didn't even mean for that to even be the case. So now that we have these numbers, now we're going to want to multiply them by their respective place. So 1 gets multiplied by 144, 7 gets multiplied by 12, and 11 gets multiplied by 1. And what you're going to end up with is 144 plus 84 plus 11. And then what this equals to will be your Arabic number, which is 239 in Arabic. And so now we have successfully converted Kuvan into Arabic. And you might think that's pretty complicated. Once you learn it, it's actually kind of easy. It's actually really fun if you like math. But Arabic to Kuvan is not as fun. I just realized this mic was not recording, and it was that mic. So Arabic to Kuvan is a lot more complicated. Our example is going to be 827 Arabic. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take 827 and divide it by 12. Now you could use a calculator for this, technically if you're smart enough, but all you have to do is find the original quotient and the remainder. And so it is 68 with a remainder of 11. And so now we're going to put 11 off to the side up here. Next, we're going to take 68 and divide it by 12, which is equal to 5 with a remainder of 8. Now we're going to take 8 and throw it up here. And then obviously you can't divide 5 by 12, and so 5 goes up here. So now what you're going to want to do is to convert these into their Kuvan counterparts. So 5 obviously equals 5. 8 equals 7, and 11 equals 9. And that's actually it. I think about it, that's actually not that complicated. I only thought it was more complicated because it's division, and I hate division. But I also like it. I know a lot of people hate it. So actually, these aren't that bad. You just got to have a lot of writing space, especially if you're converting a really big number. Have fun with that. The last thing on the agenda, obviously, is to address lowercase and middle case and uppercase case and lowest case. If you don't know, I made lowercase numbers in a different video, and I also made uppercase case, middle case, and lowest case of the alphabet and of numbers as well. And so obviously I'm going to be doing all 4 of the other cases for these 2 new numbers. So for cha, we're going to start with the lowercase. The lowercase kind of stumped me, but I actually figured it out pretty fast. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically 3 in a sense. Next up is middle case. Oh wow, that's middle case. That's an E with the line. Because it kind of looks like an E already. For the highest case, we have that. I wanted to incorporate some other Hindi symbolism in it, but I really couldn't figure it out. Also, it's supposed to be down here. What the heck? And lastly, for lowest case, it's essentially a backwards comma or like a quotation mark that's on the bottom kind of. But I don't care because this is all I could think of for lowest case. And then for John, the lower case is simply, this could get confused with 2 or Z. But if you do it right, you won't confuse it. For the middle case, we got this. It's essentially lowercase, but with a little bubble. For the highest case or uppest case, I got a little creative. Essentially that. And for the lowest case, I also got pretty creative. That's not at all how it looks, but it's pretty close. So that, my friends, is all the new cases of my new numbers, because now they're canon, so they need the new cases. Anyways, guys, you might be wondering what's the application for these? Obviously, the application is to count by 12s in a 10 cents. This also does kind of reduce numbers in a way, because as you could see with 10,000 being like 20,000 something, you really can like condense big numbers into smaller like digits in a way. So I think it's kind of like a really bad scientific notation. That was a horrible example, but you get what I mean. But also the application of this is just to, you know, count 12 on one hand. So obviously we need a canonical way to count with 5 fingers on each hand to count this way. So this is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cha, 7, 8, John, 9, 10. So when you count, you want to stick your wrist out, and that will be the 6. So obviously if you're doing it like this is 6, which is technically 7 in our spectrum, but with the wrist out, it implies this. This is not canon, all right? If you don't have the wrist out, you're missing a number, right? You gotta keep the wrist out. That's how you count with the extra 2 numbers on your hands. Anyways, guys, like the video if you really liked this concept and you want to see more stuff about Kuvan. Go check out my channel for more stuff about it, about my numbers, my calendar, alphabet, everything. And subscribe if you just want to keep up, and turn that notification bell on. Anyways, stay fresh and God bless. I will see you guys around until we hit 20,000 subscribers. Peace.